Hi guys, Flattmeister here with another video. Oh dear. This is what happens when you listen to the SJW crowd and it halts, it stifles your creative process. It stifles everything. So here on One Angry Gamer, what's up Billy D on this article here? So yeah, Overwatch developer says anti-SJW behaviour has slowed down development. So they've added some developer update, play nice, play fair. Game director Jeff Kaplan for Overwatch took time out to address the community about toxicity in the game, perpetuated by other gamers. He mentions that the team have now added a report feature to the console version, and that they wanted to make it where people who use the report function to tattletale on someone, there will be a notification indicating that your ratting out of a fellow gamer resulted in some form of disciplinary action.
And I think a lot of it comes down to the ability to freely chat with anybody anytime, speak your mind, which I think is super valuable.
Kaplan also mentions that people saying mean things and having bad behaviour has greatly slowed down development of new content for Overwatch because they're spending more time trying to fix people's bad behaviour and curb the use of mean words than make new content for the game.
Speak your mind, which I think is super valuable.
Someone got a temporary ban because they wrote on the PC version. After they finished a match, he wrote GG, and I think it either gave him a temporary ban or he had his comment was moderated. And from what my understanding, GG stands for good game. Like, yeah, it was a good game, nice one. Let's play again. And obviously, like, GG is also associated with Gamergate. The left-leaning, how the regressive game journalist sites have demonised that movement. And I mean, this feature could easily be abused, like what people deem to be mean or bad behavior.
Now, it's hard, and we've all sort of taken part in this behavior, myself included. I've said mean things on the internet. 'Cause you're
guilty. I mean, people, before we had online play, when we had couch co-op, when you used to play GoldenEye 64 on the N64, you used to play four-player split screen, and you'd be on the couch and your friends, and you'd be like poking each other in the side, like trying to distract them. Oh, fuck you, you shit, fuck you. You'd trash talk each other on the couch.
Oh, you almost. I know, I almost died. Yeah, one-handed motherfuckers. You're a perverted fuck. You know that? What'd you call me? A perverted fuck. You will get fucked
You
up.
fucking asked for it. You asked for it.
I didn't ask for shit.
Yeah, you did. You called me a perverted fuck.
Dude, you're gay. I'm not gonna fucking shoot you, you hoe.
Okay.
You would screen cheat. You would look at your other friend to see where he was on the map. And you would have that was what would make a good childhood, is this banter between your friends. I mean, I remember when my friend first got his 360s before I got mine, when he got his Xbox 360, and it was the sort of first time I'd played online against other people online. And he had Perfect Dark Zero. This just shows how long ago this was. So yeah, Perfect Dark Zero when it came out, and he went, "Hey, you have a go." So in the lobby, the mic on, and I said, and I could hear people talking. I said, "Hi guys, where are you from?" And this guy said, "Canada." And I said, "Oh yeah, well, prepare to get your ass kicked by a British guy, yeah." And the guy then responded, he went, "Dude, I'm on your team." I was like, "Oh shit, sorry." Me and my friend laughed, and I apologised to the guy, sort of just asked, "Sorry man, what are you talking about?" And he laughed too. He found it funny, and we played a few games. Now, to you, is that toxic behaviour? Is that mean? Is that bad behaviour? Should I be banned from playing online? Obviously, I'm not. That was years ago. That was 10 years ago. I'm a lot different now. Obviously, no are what online players like, you know. But with the introduction of the internet and online multiplayer, that the banter and trash talking of the days of when you're on couch co-op, or, you know, playing on your couch with friends, moving that over onto multiplayer, being able to play with someone on the other side of the world.
And the other thing is the fact that we all have this anonymity online that we don't normally have in our everyday lives. I've noticed when I'm driving in my car and there's somebody in another car, there's a layer of anonymity there that maybe makes it okay for that other driver to call me a jerk when they wouldn't do it to me in person if they knew who I was. And I think that level of anonymity is even higher in video games, and it makes people behave in a way that I just don't think they would if they were sitting in a room with somebody else.
And it's, you know, people still like to, oh yeah. So apparently they released, the developer update released a 7-minute video. Jeff explains the current state of the game, and that despite adding in the report function for the Xbox One and PS4 users, there's still a high level of toxicity plaguing Overwatch. Kaplan recounts how 480,000 accounts have been on the receiving end of disciplinary action, and 340,000 of those actions have been in response from players using the report function. Kaplan goes on to say that anyone who isn't down with their current agenda is someone that they don't want as part of their community. He states, "Our highest level of philosophy is, if you are a bad person doing bad things in Overwatch, we don't want you in Overwatch. We don't want to create areas for you where just the bad people are in Overwatch. We just don't want those bad people in Overwatch. Overwatch should be an inclusive game space. It's an inclusive, aspirational universe, and the gameplay experience should match what Overwatch is hoping to achieve." How about creating like a single campaign? Like, you've created all these quirky characters with weird backstories that you've explained through CGI, movies and comic books. Like, how about doing some like story mode rather than this just being a PvP MOBA? That's a way of, you know, expanding your game. The game is supposed to be achieving world peace. It's a long ways from that goal. Kaplan nevertheless continues on about how Blizzard is doing its part, but that the community also needs to do its part in changing for the better, saying, "In order to improve the situation, the community needs to take a deep look inwards at each of us and really consider that we should try to make it a fun and engaging experience. There's a way to spread positivity that I don't think is prevalent right now. Sure, we can try to build game systems to encourage that more, and we will, but we need the community to own up to their part in the accountability that they have for really creating a great game space." So in other words, Kaplan is telling gamers, don't use profane language against other people. Fuck! Don't say derogatory things against other people. Fuck! Don't be mean towards other people. Fuck! And only use language that would, at its hardest and sharpest, still fail to crack a snowflake. I mean, what if you were to make a comment, I don't know, like, Red Skull did nothing wrong. Banned! Kaplan then rounds out the video by saying that they could make more content if people just behaved more like SJWs, constantly micromanaging microaggressions. Then it would mean that Kaplan and the crew wouldn't have to police the community or build tools to turn the community more SJW friendly, saying, "We want to make new maps, we want to make new heroes, we want to make animated shorts. That's where our passion is, but we've been put into this weird position where we're spending a tremendous amount of time and resources punishing people and trying to make people behave better. I wish we could take that time that we put into putting reporting on console and have put that towards a match history system or a replay system instead. It was the exact same people that had to work on both the replay system and match history system who got rerouted to work on the other report system." I mean, well, from what I've heard, because again, I've still not played Overwatch yet, but from what I've heard, it's still got quite piss poor matchmaking. I'm not certain on that. And also, like, yeah, someone's paid for a game, and they're saying, well, things that are not necessarily what would you deem as bad or mean, and then someone just boom. This system could easily be this report system could easily be abused, and then you've got banning people permanently from the game that they've paid. Why not do what Rockstar did with GTA? Wasn't it when you team kills, or if you blew up someone else's car? in like free roam mode or whichever mode it was. I'm not sure, but yeah, you eventually got put into, it had a report system where, oh, this player is being a fucking annoying prick, and then they would put that annoying prick banned. They would put that annoying prick in other matches that other people have been reported as being pricks, and you would wear a dunce. Your character would be forced to wear a dunce hat. I think that's what Rockstar did with GTA 5. Why not do something like that? Like, oh, people that have been reported to not be good team players, or they're not saying things that you don't like, or getting in your way when you're trying to aim with a sniper, and someone's getting in your way deliberately like that. Why not create a system where those people can still play, but they're going to play amongst their other kind, you know, other people that enjoy trolling or being annoying online in games. In Kaplan's eyes, trying to completely re-engineer human behaviour is taking its toll on the development team, and working hard to force people. Was it fucking Star Wars? Force push?
Push it to the limit. Walk along the razor's edge.
And working hard to force people to behave the way social justice warriors want them to behave is, in his own words, slowing down development of new content for Overwatch. He says, the bad behaviour is actually making the game progress in terms of development at a much slower rate. There's a lot of vagueness in terms of what constitutes bad behaviour in the video. In the yes of Blizzard. I don't know what you mean there, Billy. I don't know if that's a typo or something. Other than saying mean things to people, which could pretty much run a vast spectrum of how people communicate and what language or tone they use. For instance, is jovial but derogatory sarcasm bad behaviour? Is jocular but profane language bad behaviour? Is using epithets in a joking manner bad behaviour? It seems like a rule based on moral principle that's as flimsy as the flag in the wind. The Keck flag. However, Kaplan and the rest of Blizzard apparently want their community to behave like SJWs, only using language approved of by social authoritarians and only playing in ways that are considered positive by moral arbiters. It's strange because they don't have to fight bad behaviour at all. They could let the block mute buttons do what they're intended to do and focus on making new content for the game. Exactly. There's already these things in place on the Xbox and PS4, block and mute. If you don't want to listen to the person, if that person's being annoying, just search for another match rather than being rematched again with those people. Overwatch is a popular game. There's plenty of people playing it. There's loads of lobbies to choose from. This is what normal people do, right? They just ignore it and they move on. What SJWs want to do is, this shouldn't be happening in the first place. They shouldn't be able to say or do those things. With Kaplan's admission that anti-SJW behaviour is literally holding back development, I could easily see trolls from 4chan using this as an opportunity to ramp up the so-called bad behaviour in order to bring development to a full halt. Which is stupid. Come on, 4chan. Right. It's fucking childish. So yeah, plenty of interesting comments here. If there's toxicity in your game, 9 times out of 10 it is due to the players venting their frustrations at other players because of your design fuck-ups. My money is on the matchmaking system. Oh, just like what I said. On the matchmaking system being complete fucking garbage, and, like all matchmaking systems I've experienced, repeatedly putting players in one-sided blowouts. Have you lost too many games in a row? Time to put you in some matches against people who have literally just started gaming with this title. Have you won too many games in a row? Time to stick you in a series of matches against 5 stacks that are attempting to break into the esports scene. Aero Brutan. Blizzard. Our community is a mess, but it's never our fault. Time to blame our customers. Marvel Comics takes the same stance when their sales drops like an iron brick. Blame the customers. Both companies are SJWs. The problem is, even if sales figures are low, they'll still carry on pushing social justice. It's already got to the point where many Western developers are pushing the feminist agenda regardless of financial situation. And I reckon it's because they're trying the keep forcing and promoting feminism until people accept it tactic. Fortunately, it's probably going to work because the more you push an agenda over a long period of time, eventually it becomes the norm and people do accept it. It's just, these people shooting themselves in the foot, these companies. I just find it suspicious that from a financial point of view, big companies like BioWare, etc. are still hell-bent on shooting themselves in the foot. Like Next on America, even the most determined SJWs on their staff would know that the company needs the money in order to pay these parasites their undeserved salaries. I reckon they're being controlled, threatened by a powerful political group behind the scenes. Combine this with the mainstream games media fear-mongering them, and you have your political slave. Well, I mean, EA has kind of cracked a whip on BioWare. Or BioWare Montreal, anyway. They keep using the misguided and ill-informed stance that marginalised groups are a market demographic worth catering to, and if they just reach those marginalised groups, they'll be attracting 50% of the rest of the market that they've been ignoring. It's economic hysterics, but SJWs aren't known for using logic. Mainstream media is painting a purposefully misinformed picture about the market landscape while using their platforms as an odious fulcrum for which any company who steps out of line gets the proverbial public guillotine via smear campaign. As someone also mentioned in another comment, the CMs are SJWs themselves and are relaying false info back to the higher-ups. It makes this worse that the media is oftentimes repeating what the SJW community managers are spouting, like what happened with Dina, and Mighty Number 9. So the higher-ups follow suit. So yeah, Overwatch kind of shooting themselves in the foot there. Don't cater to SJW. Yeah, leave a comment. Let me guys know what you think on this. Do you think Blizzard should be implementing these tools to crack down, or should they crack down on toxic behaviour, or should they be cracking on with development on their game, improving their game, improving the matchmaking, improving, providing more working on more content, more quality content? People want more than just new maps and characters. And like, the CGI shorts are cool, but come on, you gotta make more than just CGI shorts. Like, why not? The game is quite rich and, well, it's got a bit of lore behind it now. Like, create some single player content, or or like story content, story focused content. Yeah, let me know. Let me guys know what you think on this. Yeah, I'm Flattmeister. I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.
Remember to pat your teammates on the back, and if you have that negative comment, maybe just hold it back, and remember that we're all here to have fun. Thanks, guys.